so tell me, okay, you had your experience at Northeast Community College, Northeast Mississippi Community College. Tell me about your transition to Mississippi State.
Well, after those 2 years in junior college, I kind of grew into myself. So I was confident then. I was already myself, who I thought I was going to be as a basketball player. So the biggest transition going from junior college, when the whole world is kind of revolving around you at all times, being because you're the big fish in a little pond, the role reverses a little bit. Yeah. Now you're a big fish in an even bigger pond.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's some guys that were already established. It was some guys who were already All-American and who they were going to be. So you don't really get to come in there with any expectation other than do what you're supposed to do, however they recruited you. And I was highly recruited, you know what I mean? So now that level of self was already there, so I know I had some level of respect from them by the way that I was recruited. So I came in with my head held high and my chest out, but I quickly, got humbled. I'm talking about, for real, the first couple of days on campus, realizing that, hold up, my basketball alone not going to get it with these cats.
So what gave you that experience, the humble experience?
Just the first day in the rec gym with the team. When you first really get around some guys who walk-ons on the team, guys who you didn't see get in the game, fifth year seniors, guys that you like, he might be nothing. He definitely can't. Well, the first time we split them up, shirts and skins, and the return players against the newcomers.
Yeah. So yeah.
And then when you play a couple of games and realize not only have we not won, it's just I'm not even a part of the. It's like I'm not even involved. I can't do nothing about it right now because I didn't realize they're a little more structured. They're a little more understanding of each other. They know things about each other by time and tendencies. Things that in JUCO, it all revolved around my actions. So I wasn't looking at my teammates the same way that I had to look at these cats. I'm getting the job done, so pressure, not so much as pressure. I already know I'm getting well on them. A couple of possessions down court might not even be, it's not your job this time. Your job might be to set a pick or fade away out the play to be a diversion on this, that. And it took me a while to figure that out, especially in 5-on-5 without the coaches. And it just was a rude awakening how hard they played, how physical they were, how much tougher they were, possession for possession, when I just thought it was looking good in hooping. Which I think a lot of guys who are high-level recruiting, high-level production guys, before they get on that Division I campus, when that first couple of weeks is tough on you. And I'm not saying it was a bad, like I couldn't show myself. They probably seen different. But I'm talking about inside knowing like, nah, this ain't the guy. This ain't the guy that they recruit. I got to, you know what I mean? So once you get that respect and get humbled and learn how to work, and then they showed me how to work, showed me how to get in the weight room real good, showed me how to train, and then you become one of them. And if you got the right set of teammates, which I ended up having, didn't know from day one that they would be that great. These are guys that wanted to see me successful in order for their success to match. Because they had been successful. They'd been close. They already got All-Americans. You got all SEC performers. They've been to the Sweet 16. But they say you the one can take us to that piece that we've never been in ever, and still the school has ever been. And I guess they were all right in their approach because they pushed me to be something I would have never dreamed that story would happen like that first year at Mississippi State. Well, the only year at Mississippi State. So we the ball bounced for us. I had some great moments. Ended up being SEC tournament MVP. I like I said, I've always played every single game with the intent of being the best player on the court. Not the most points, not the most rebounds, but with the best being the best player. And for some reason, that year just kind of kept rising to a crescendo. And when we got into the SEC tournament, it played out for me. I just think I did everything. I tried to do everything the right way throughout that year. I was hurt. When I first got there, I didn't even tell you about that. The second week there, I was hurt. I ended up being hurt all the way to Midnight Madness. The same injury I ended up having surgery on before I got drafted. So I had 2 surgeries within 12 months, within 14 months at Mississippi State and the NBA draft. So these are things, like I say, and this has nothing to do yay or nay, but that's that resiliency again of knowing I really can't dwell on this injury right now, knowing that this little bit of pain ain't stopping my production. And in hindsight, I probably do things a different way, knowing how the game will go and milk it a little bit and enjoy the fruits of it later. But on that journey to it, we got to get it. We got to get it. Every single game is that best opportunity. In the SEC tournament, it just rolls. It rolls until everything happens just right for us. And just have an opportunity to play against one of the best teams in college basketball history.
Yeah, I was watching that game, and then you just went off. You had like the first 11 points or something. I don't know if you had the first 11 or 13 points the first quarter.
It just was one of them games where we had played them earlier in the season, and they beat us pretty good at our home. And we had we probably competed well with them more than any team for the first half and the first 5 minutes of the second half. And I think we got a little relaxed, and I made a costly mistake that led to a 14, 15-point run at a time. And I don't even think very few people even remember the possession, but in our highlight films and a whole lot of things that go on in our little history, that play pops up. And I still remember as that being the play that changed that game, and I always wanted the opportunity to, if we play them again, I won't be the reason we lose that game.
So what play was that?
It was a play right out of a time our coaches just drew the play up for us to go pump fake. I mean, a guard was going to fake like he's going to baseline and pop back up, and I was just supposed to get it to him and fade on through and rotate the ball through. But we had got it earlier in the year where we faked the back door and give it right back to him. So I thought we had eye contact, but take in mind, we on a run, then cut the lead to 1 point. As our ball coming out the timeout, it's going down. So this is one of the moments where coming out of timeout, we need to be precise, and I just took it upon myself to make a basketball decision that I thought was the best, and they stole it and ended up getting a layup and stole it back-to-back. Some things happened. We were down 15. It just broke us at that moment. And you speed up into that SEC tournament championship game, I was locked in a different way. And I don't think my teammates even look back at that and remember he's probably some of the reason we lost that game. I had like 8 or 9 turnovers in that game the first time. Played good, but to the standards of what I should have, I didn't. And I held that and got, like I said, we got lucky enough to play them again. And they didn't have the greatest game, I don't think. I like to think some of our defense and what we did caused it. But you could tell they were, when we got off on them early and got to going and were still right there after those first 5 minutes, it kind of took them by storm. And we got the hitting shots. And I'm a different type of basketball player, so I'm a rhythm player, and I'm going to go with the game and how the game flows. So when the moments were flowing, it tended to go our way. And at that time, they just kind of watched it a little bit, and we got ahead of them for good. But you see how that year ended. We still had some success later on down the line, and they ended up being a national champion. But that day right there changed my basketball life. And I think I put the attention, even though I didn't go on to have the one probably what some would say a so-called NBA career, but it still propelled my basketball life, because at that time, a kid from James Casey home with a broken leg in high school that got his GED, to just come out of junior college in Mississippi and only playing that first year at Mississippi State, ended up in that SEC championship game and being the MVP. The story could stop right there. You know what I mean? It could stop right there. So, like I said, I'm again a product of fortunate circumstance and taking advantage of them opportunities again. And being at SEC tournament, though, like I said, I don't like I've watched it a million times, the highlight parts of it. I don't watch the whole games of nothing. It's just, but those highlights you have to show the kids to remind them. You have to also remind yourself, hey, man, there's a lot that goes in for you to being who you are sometimes, and those are certain reminders that, hey, man, don't sell yourself short out here. Your work put in, your work is a positive reminder of what you are. And that SEC tournament is always something we can look back on and be like, yeah. One day in time, it was one shining moment, and that was my one shining moment.
Yeah, you had a lot of shining moments, but that was one for sure because you balled out.